Hey guys, today we're going to talk about these leather, well, what used to be leather but are now fabric, kind of partially open bras versus clear bra and car covers, and which are kind of similar, and why car covers and these types of bras that you see here on this C8 Corvette here on our sketch pad are awful for your car's paint. So let's talk about first, why do people use car bras and why do people use car covers? And typically what the reason is one, people think that they're protecting the vehicle from, rock chips in the case of this bra. Um, and they're trying to prevent repainting the car in the long term from scratches and damaging the paint. But I'm going to tell you today why they actually do the opposite and they actually damage your car instead of protect your car, which is the opposite of clear bra, which is what we offer, which actually does protect your paint long term and actually hides defects rather than causing them. So obviously we think this is not very attractive. We've owned a couple Corvettes. It's no offense to the owner. That's all a personal preference thing. So we're not gonna, beat up on what we think is gross looking. You know, but we're gonna talk about why it damages the car's paint and why it has the opposite intent of what the owner is trying to do. Not just on this car, but car covers in general. So the first thing to understand is, how does dirt damage your car's paint? And that's really what this focus is. Because if you've watched our aftercare videos under playlists, aftercare, you'll see us talk about the more often you touch your car's paint, the more likely you are to scratch it long term. So what happens is this here, it's the closest red I could find. So this is the paint, right? And then, we have a speck of dirt here. And so when we go and we touch, this is my thumb here, or a finger. So people will see dirt on their car's paint, and you'll see they'll like wipe it with their finger. Well, dirt is essentially the makings of glass, the makings of sandpaper. It just depends on exactly what's on there, of course. But in an extreme example, the dirt acts as almost a sandpaper. So what ends up happening is, we press down to remove the dirt, and what we're left with is we're left with a little bit of, um, it's a minor scratch. So I'll show you here. So we're kind of left with a minor scratch. Now, what a minor scratch is really just a little bit of the clear coat removed. Now, this looks a lot more extreme than it actually is, because I'm zoomed in and trying to illustrate something. But so what you see here is what appears to our eyes as a scratch, and that's done by these dirt particles. Now, if we used, a sanding block, as an extreme example, the way we sand paint down is by basically taking the hardest particles of here and then, rubbing it against the paint here in a sanding block. And then, of course, that is going to create a bunch of little, you know, divots and scratches, some of which will be deeper than others. Okay, so that's how we damage paint with dirt. That's why we tell you never to touch the car's paint unless the car is clean. And even if it's clean, we try not to touch the car's paint. So knowing that will help us understand why a car cover and why this clear bra or this non-clear bra is damaging to the car's paint. So with clear bra, let me just erase this here. With clear bra, it's different. Okay, so with clear bra, what we're doing is we're taking the car's paint and then we're adding a protective layer directly on top of it. And that layer has some self-healing capabilities. And so your car's paint is really below not only the the clear bra as a whole here, but it's under a couple different layers. And so, one benefit I told you I'd tell you about, benefits and preventing. So the very most bottom layer is the adhesive, and the adhesive, because of its nature, will kind of fill in some of those cracks, or sorry, some of those scratches in the paint, and you won't see them because the adhesive will kind of fill that in. So the adhesive would kind of go like this, and you just don't see it, and it's a slight dip up here, but it's so minor by the time it gets to the naked eye that it covers it in or appears to cover it in. So, so when we damage that top coat with a piece of dirt, you're not actually hitting the paint, you're hitting this, which will heal itself over time with heat especially, and you won't see it. Okay, so that's the difference in benefits. That actually works. These car covers and these bras, the old school leather bras, if you're as old as me, they don't they don't do that. Okay, they actually amplify the issue that we discussed at first. So why are these awful alternatives? Well, I'm going to tell you. So here's the car's paint, okay, and then here, and this goes for car cover, or this clear bra, and I'll tell you why here in a second, why they're basically both the same risk or same level of problem. So we got these dirt particles. Now we take all right, let's see if I can find the black cover here. Okay, so here we take a car cover or a clear bra, or I'm sorry, a leather bra or this, mesh bra, and we cover that paint. But the problem is, it's almost impossible to either prevent or completely eliminate any dirt from getting under there or any dirt from being under there when we put it on. So even if this was perfectly clean when we put the bra on, it's actually mesh. So there's that's designed so that the wind can kind of get through and all that kind of stuff. But that also means that dirt and stuff can get under. Now, even with a car cover, it's not covered in saran wrap, so it's able to get dirt up in there through wind or whatever. So, dirt is going to get under car covers. Dirt is going to get under the clear bra. Period. It's going to happen. I promise you. So what you have here is you have this cover that's supposed to be protecting from the elements, and to a degree, it's going to, right? So like, these pieces of dirt on a car cover, we just take the car cover off and we shake it out, and you won't see any of those pieces of dirt. They don't touch the paint. But the issue is the dirt that gets under the clear bra. Or sorry, I keep saying clear bra because I'm so used to doing clear bra, but um, the dirt gets under the leather bra or the car cover. That's the issue. So now this, now in the case of this, it's wind or movement. In the case of a car cover, it could be wind or movement, or it could be touching the car cover, even if it's in a garage with no access to the wind. But a lot of people will put their car cover outside and it gets windy and everything. So what you have is, this top layer is going to move back and forth, and that's going to agitate these dirt pieces. And what you've basically done is you've created a sandpaper effect, because this cover is just going to constantly rub these same pieces of dirt in and in and in and into the paint. And if you've ever seen a car cover, or a car that's had a car cover outside, and the dirt is, or the cover is removed, a lot of times what we'll see is, especially in areas where it attaches, like over, along these edges, or if it has, tie downs, because it has to be tied down under the car, usually ties to itself or wraps around the wheels, you'll actually have the paint will sometimes be rubbed complete, like the clear coat will be gone. And so over time, and it may not happen right away, and it may be not perceptible to everybody in the first year of ownership or whatever the case may be, this will start to abrade the paint completely to the point where it loses its shine. Even it doesn't matter that it's mesh, it's a it's no different than having, say, a string, you know, running across the hood. No matter how good you are, that's going to move. I mean, even the body panels on the Corvette, these will flex a little bit when driving on the highway. So everything on this car is flexing at highway speeds. And so this is just creating it's just rubbing the paint. And I'm telling you over time, this is a bad idea. And the reason car covers are also a bad idea, if they're outside, it's the same thing, right? Like, it doesn't matter. The wind is going to blow even the slightest bit, it's going to be rubbing up against the paint, just as if in the initial demonstration when I took my finger and I rubbed the paint. But in the case of a car cover inside, as you even put the car cover on the car, right? So the car cover, it goes on, let's say the car cover is perfectly clean, the car is immaculate. You put the car cover on, some dirt's going to get underneath, or dirt will get on or underneath the car cover when you take the car cover off. Now, if you're not cleaning and laundering the car cover every single time and the paint is not immaculate every single time, the dirt that is collected even in 10 minutes of having the car cover off, when you put it back on, just getting it into place is going to scratch the paint. So it sounds like it shouldn't be that way, but car covers and leather bras and mesh bras and all that stuff, it's only creating issues for your car's paint. And in some cases, especially for the bras or car covers outside, we may not be able to fix that defect in the paint depending upon how deep or how long that paint has been abraded. So, anyways, this is why we cannot use car covers. This is why we cannot use bras, and we never, 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 we never tell people that that's a good idea.